2. Hey everybody, I'm going to turn on the lights back here and then we'll get started. There we go. A little bit of, I don't know if that's going to work. We'll see. So, all right. So, okay. The SmackDown, this Raw, it's Monday. It's a Monday, Mona. So, okay. All right, here we go. I thought this Monday Night Raw was like okay. It was okay. Of course, Rhea Ripley is back, and that was like, for the most part. So I think maybe with the exception of Drew, that was like the most like important thing right there. Like that's what everybody was waiting on. First of all, I'm gonna ask my husband to bring the fan in here. Bring the fan. So you guys don't think I'm just texting because I'm bored or something. I can't freaking. I've not been able to type lately. There we go. All right, so here we are. All right, so yeah, Rhea's back, and she's mad at Dom as she should be, and she challenged Liv to a match at SummerSlam, which Dominic is going to 100% interfere and cost Rhea that match. Like, there's no doubt about this. I mean, I'd be more surprised if he didn't at this point. So, yep, I'd be way surprised if that did not happen. He is 100% costing her that match. Let me actually hashtag this. Yep, so just doing a few little things right here. So Rhea's challenge has officially challenged Liv for SummerSlam. Dom tried to, give her the roses, the Eddie Guerrero thing, only with a bit of a twist because it's Rhea, so it was basically black roses, which I thought that was a nice little touch. Damian Priest just instigating the entire thing. Like he's like, yeah, you should challenge Jey Uso. Jey Uso was like, heard that Rhea was available. It was like, I need that, so he's trying to get Rhea now. And I mean, like at the end of the match, I mean, if it's not hard to miss, right? Because they focus on it, but Jay was like, call me, basically. He didn't like even mouth the words. He just did the gesture, and Rhea kind of smirked a bit. I won't say she looked so into it, but she definitely did not look disgusted by that. I'll tell you that right now. So I cannot wait to see that, because I kind of I want to see how that would work out, like Jay and Rhea, and I know they're both married. They're both married, so because I know there's gonna be somebody's like, oh, well, I don't know. With Rhea, not so much. They haven't really been saying that stuff. It seems to be all right when Rhea's doing it, so maybe it won't be that bad. But yep, so that happened. Adam Pearce kind of trying to force Drew McIntyre to apologize to two referees. He kind of elbowed, I think, what was it, in the match in post-show. And he couldn't do it because he's like, no, I'm not going to apologize. You don't make Punk apologize, so I'm not going to apologize. So that's interesting. He's suspended. Well, of course, Drew won't be suspended for long. They're going to have that match at SummerSlam. That's the thing, right? That's going to be one of the big, I think SummerSlam, to me, is shaping up to be very, very good. Match quality, I know there has to be at least one or two returns, I think. And I don't know which ones are going to be. It could be Roman. It could be, like I said, Becky Lynch could possibly return. Charlotte Flair. It's been months since she's been gone. No one's really thinking about Charlotte Flair at all. And I don't mean that in in a bad way. Just she's been out of sight, out of mind, and sometimes that's good. Like when wrestlers like take a break, and granted it was due to injury, not because she just wanted to take a break. We kind of, for some, it's like out of sight, out of mind, so we don't think about them. So when they do return, then that's an even bigger pop, really. And she will, like Charlotte would go to SmackDown because Andrade's on SmackDown, which she's married to. David Priest and Gunther having a face to face. It was pretty funny, and I think Damian Priest is definitely the face now. They have not officially said so, but they're definitely the face at this point. Let's see what else. I will say this: it was funny when Chad Gable was like, "I know who Uncle Howdy is," And he's like, it's Bo Dallas. He's just telling everybody, and we were like, yeah, we know. We've been new. This is so funny. I will say this. I'm in Ohio, right? I live in Ohio. I did not go to Monday Night Raw because I don't live in Dayton, and I just didn't get tickets to go. But there wasn't much noise for the beatdown. Like, there was some a little bit towards the end, and there was a big pop when the Wyatt Sick came out. But other than that, there really wasn't that much. Not that much noise for the Bo Dallas beatdown. I don't know if that was because the Creeds haven't been on TV as much, like not like really wrestling, and maybe that's the problem. Like, they've been in the background for sure, and they've been in a few backstage segments. Was it just that maybe they should have waited till he got in the ring and then did the whole beatdown thing? I don't know, but I'm almost wondering if it's not a matter of they just didn't know who the Creeds were, or just didn't remember, or whatever. Maybe if they were in the wrestling gear, maybe they would have known who that was. So, because they've been teasing it for like a long ass time now that the Creeds might go to Chad Gable, which I think is the right call. I think they should, because the one thing I do love the Creeds tag team, I always did, even since their NXT days. I really like the Creeds. The fact that they weren't called up even like sooner than they were, it was like really weird to me. But yeah, so I guess it was just a matter of people just not knowing really who they were. That's just so weird to me. Yeah, but then, I kind of feel like that maybe should have been the closing segment, but I don't mind the IC title match being the main event. Because, it's a wrestling show. Unless there's something huge happening, then yeah, maybe matches should go last. So I knew Braun Breaker was going to interfere in the match, and of course he did a spear on both of them. They're going to have another match at SummerSlam, and I know people were disappointed at Money in the Bank when Braun didn't win. I was a little bit disappointed too, but then I thought it over. Like, I basically slept on it. It was like, I actually may have been the right call. And now Braun is going to pretty much murder Sammy at SummerSlam. It's going to be crazy. He's going to get murdered, like even more so than before. Because I do think, and I think there's merit to this, right? I think they wanted to see how Braun Breaker did. Like, sure, he held the NXT title, all that, he did all that NXT, but I think they wanted to see how he would do. And he wasn't in the main event, but how we do against a big match like Sammy. And I think it's kind of the same thing almost with like Roman Reigns and LA Knight. They wanted to see if LA Knight could hang in the main event, could hang in the title picture, a title picture on the main roster. And he proved they could. And Braun so did as well. With his Money in the Bank match with Sammy. Like, okay, can you hang with main eventers or people who have been in the main event? Okay, cool. Now we're going to further your push along. And people were really taking him Braun Breaker. I knew, like, when he first got on the main roster, I felt like they tried to make him a bit more soft-spoken. I think they were trying to make him into a face or something when he first got on the main roster. After he had been a massive heel in NXT, and I think they realized, okay, that's not working. They're not taking to him. The crowd isn't taking to him as much. So let's make him a Steiner, basically. Because that's what he is. He's a Steiner. And let him act like a Steiner. And we'll go from there. And then he'll get over it, which is happening right now. I'm not saying he's... I hate using this term because it's always meant in bad faith. I don't think he's a draw per se right now. As it stands right now, he could be in the future, for sure. But it's just, they want to see how he could hang in the title picture. He's going to get the IC title. People are taking to him. They're doing, they're doing the whoop, whoop, whoop. They're doing that in the crowd. Even this kind of dead crowd, to be honest with you. And speaking of dead crowds, I felt bad for the women's tag team match. They just, at least from where I was sitting, they didn't seem to care about that tag match, and it's probably gonna take some time for audiences to get used to like the group of Sonya, Shayna, and Zoe. So maybe it's gonna take some time. And Zoe, Kaden and Katana haven't really been that massively over on the main roster. I'm not saying they're not a good tag team. They're still very much not green. Maybe green is the right answer. I don't know. Just unpolished, maybe is the best way to put it, on the main roster. And again, it's not their, I don't know, they need to, also their finisher, while in theory it works, I'm checking my, I really hope I was not muted this whole time. I think I was. While hopefully now the sound is better. While on paper, Kaden and Katana's finishers is good, they take way too long to set it up. Like, this is something I realized, at least on the main roster, they take way too long to set up their finisher. I think they just need a new finisher, for one thing. I'm not saying it's going to solve all of their problems. And also, there's just a systematic problem of the WWE haven't really taken care of much of the female tag team division. So it's like, if your company is not going to take you seriously, why are you asking us to take this seriously? And that's, I think, sometimes the problem with wrestling. Because, again, sometimes the crowds can be very cruel. I think sometimes unnecessarily cruel in some cases. They cannot... There are times I'm like, you should be popping for this, and you're not. Why? I feel like this warrants at least a cheer, something. And it hasn't happened. However, it's also up for at least in this case, and especially the women's tag team division, you've got to make people care about your division. And you can't just put tag teams out there and just expect the crowd to pop, because, you know, wrestling is a very interactive activity. So, and again, it's not real. So it's not like, you know, with basketball, it's kind of whatever your heart desires, and, you know, other sports like that, it's just not. You have to actually, behind the scenes, you got to make people care about you. It's not a matter of, again, or if you want to even go with MMA, it's not a matter of, okay, well, this person will still get paid, even if the crowd doesn't like them. But if they keep winning, they're still going to get a payday. Whereas, and they're still going to be in, like, marquee matches, depending on what level they're in, or they're going to be in the main, like, UFC number, whatever. But, you know, wrestling, it is different. You got to actually put in the effort. And they kind of haven't done that. Although I do like Lyra kind of being with them. And I like how she was dressed in that. I just liked her outfit. It was very simple. They're not focusing so much on the bird stuff, which is really... They haven't done it for a while, but they put, like, little hints in there every once in a while about it. And I'm just like, okay, she's not a bird person. She's a wrestler. I do like her. I will say this. As far as Lyra Valkyria's, like, gear, I do like her gear. Like, I like the feathers. And I know I just contradicted myself, but I do like the feathered gear. I think it's very unique and stands out. It just don't make her to an actual bird. So, okay, what else happened? Yeah, not too much really else. I'm trying to really think what else happened. Oh yeah, so former Alpha Academy members, so Otis, Akira Tozawa, and Maxine Dupree will be in Xavier Woods' corner next week. Which I find that very interesting. I don't know where that's going to go. We know Kofi is out for, like, a minor injury, so he's not going to be in action. Xavier Woods is going to be in action. And as you say, like, this is the very much slow breakup of the New Day. And there was a time where this breakup in the New Day would have just been unthinkable. Like, no, don't break up this group. This group is fine the way it is. But I think it's time for a change. That's what I think. And Grant, you know what? Considering the New Day, maybe they won't even have, Xavier betrays Kofi or something. Like, they could just have, like, amicable, I can't even say the word, break up, and, like, Xavier can go, like, look, Kofi, I gotta go my own way on this. Like, you won a major title. Big E's won a major title. I'm the only one in this group who's not won a major or even a singles title. I do want to win something before, you know, I retire from in-ring action. And Xavier Woods is not old. He's in his early 40s, like late 30s, early 40s, I think. So I could see him going, like, you know what? I want to win a singles title. And I think that's good enough reason to leave the New Day alone for a while. And the New Day haven't been hot in a while. They just haven't. Not some years now. So yeah, like have them split up either mutually, or if you really want to, yeah, have Xavier just portray Kofi or Kofi portray Woods, and yeah, have them go away for a while. Because I don't know if Brandon, I'm no doctor, but I don't know if Xavier or if Big E is going to return to in-ring action anytime soon, if ever. They've clearly given him a job in WWE, so, or I should say, they gave it to him. They have him still employed, which is good. They should keep him employed. I don't want them to fire Big E. He has so many he has other strengths. So yeah, always keep him with a job. But he's moved to like post show and pre show pay per view stuff. He could do commentary at some point. I'm surprised they haven't, unless he just did not want the job. I was a bit surprised they didn't have him do commentary. You know what I mean? Like, because I know I forget his name now, but they just hired somebody else. They hired somebody new to go do commentary on SmackDown. And I don't know I know it's getting off topic of Monday Night Raw, but I don't know why they insist on having 3 people on SmackDown. Like, I'm not sure what is up with that, but apparently he's going to be the play-by-play guy. So we'll have to see where that goes. But I'm surprised they didn't have Big E. Again, unless they just want, either one maybe just did not want the job, because I'm sure that is a huge commitment to being on commentary. Even if it is 2 hours, that's a lot. Or maybe they wanted, because I feel like if anything, Big E, he could probably do play-by-play, but I feel like they put him more in a color commentary role. And again, so maybe they wanted somebody more who could do the play-by-play stuff. So there's that. I'm trying to think what else happened on Monday Night Raw. Nothing really. I mean, we know Bad Blood's coming in Atlanta in October. Still selling for SummerSlam, so that's something. Stephanie Vaquer showed up, and she'll be on NXT. I don't know when she made the big debut tomorrow. Actually, that's what they might have her do. They may have her debut tomorrow. On NXT, so I'm going to be interested to see. I do think, hopefully, this is a kind of a new WWE, so I have more hope in that they keep her the way she is, like now. Don't pair her off with a weird gimmick. Although they've been kind of doing away with the weird gimmicks in NXT. There's only like a few left, so like, Spooky Wendy Chu, and like a few others, like Tony D'Angelo. But other than that, they've been for the most part, they've toned down the really goofy gimmicks of NXT. And so I'm kind of hoping they do the same thing. They don't have Stephanie take on a weird gimmick, which I don't think they will. I think she can get over on her own with her own merit, I think, and that's something. Of course, we still have Julia coming. I don't know when she's going to show up. Stephanie might actually, if it's not Julia, Stephanie might be the one to challenge Roxanne for the NXT Women's Championship. Now that's going to be something to see. And I do think, because eventually they're gonna have to call up Roxanne. Like, it's so weird to me. As young as she is, early 20s, she's had, I think, out of almost all the people in the Performance Center, she was probably the most experienced. She was on Ring of Honor, after all. She was, so I don't know why they haven't called her up yet. I'm just not sure why. Oh, excuse me. But they'll have to call her up soon. At this point. I'm hoping by the end of this year they call Roxanne up. Yeah. Oh boy. So we gotta see about this. Okay. Yeah, so we might be getting Jey Uso and Rhea Ripley. It might be Jay. See, does Rhea want to be in another kind of? I don't know. They just might be friends. Have them on-screen friends. They're probably friends back behind the scenes. Probably friends on the show. So they might keep it at that. Because does Rhea want to do another like love story type thing? I don't know. I don't think we have to reduce them into love stories on the show. Although she might. Again, Jey Uso is one of the most over guys in the company right now. So Rhea is one of the most over women in the company right now. So it does kind of make sense. The two of the most over people in the company kind of getting together. That kind of does make sense. I don't think it'll last as long as Rhea and Dom, if that were the case. But Jay and Rhea, okay. It would be funny when Rhea says yeet. I think that's going to be funny. So if she does, and Damian Priest definitely babyface now. It was kind of harsh to what Gunther was saying though too. It was like, oh, yeah, you were on the street. Well, you know, God, it was just so. It was your parents' fault that happened and all that. I'm like, oh, damn, Gunther, you don't say all that. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me, I'm getting tired. It's been a long, long day. Alright, so I think that's it for Monday Night Raw. I'm going to try to be on here for another time. Yeah, maybe another 10 minutes or something like that, if I can. So, this is my stream. I can do what I want. So, you know what? I am going to talk about... I'm going to talk about SmackDown a little bit. So, as we know, Cody and Randy Orton were attacked by the Bloodline. It was so funny, like, seeing kind of what Cody Rhodes kind of begged for them not to hurt Randy. And I don't know if it's going to happen, but Randy may be coming after Cody at some point. Which I think will be so interesting. I think will... I would like to see that match. And there's still the looming cloud of Roman Reigns. Again, I acknowledge my tribal chief. But as always, when Roman is gone for any amount of time, Roman is gone. There's still that cloud of Roman Reigns looming over SmackDown. And you're kind of just almost waiting for him to just come out. Like at this, like, you know, like, we kind of we thought maybe with Paul Heyman he'd come out. But of course not, because, you know, his father just passed away. Of course, we're not going to do that. But there's always that little nugget of, oh, but what if he does come out? He will come out soon. Most likely SummerSlam. Somebody did tell me, like, oh, he was going to come out a week earlier. I'm like, why would you do that? I'm not sure where SmackDown's going to be a week before SummerSlam, but why would you wait? Why would you wait? Or not? Why would you wait? Why would you do it sooner? Why would you do that sooner? I don't know, I feel like SummerSlam, that's where you get the most people, you're going to get the biggest pop, and he's going to get a huge pop. I don't think he's going to be completely white meat babyface Roman Reigns. I don't think that's going to happen. I would like to have him, even if he is a tweener or a babyface with a bit of an edge. One, he's going to still, I think, still come after Cody Rhodes, Roman will. But he's hit right now. It's like it's going to be priorities for Roman. He's like, okay, Cody, I want my title back, but you know what? I was going to take a backseat to this guy right here, Solo Sikoa, who stood up Ulafala, I believe it's how it's pronounced, and saying I wasn't man enough to lead the family anymore. I wasn't man enough to beat Cody Rhodes. So I got to take care of this problem, because now he's just wreaking havoc on SmackDown. Hurt my wise man, Paul Heyman. So I got to take care of him first and the family. Some people are saying or speculating that Jacob Fatu is going to turn on Solo very soon for Roman, and he could, right? He absolutely could. Like, I find that very interesting. Even though Hikuleo was supposed to come soon, like very soon. I don't know when soon, but he's supposed to come soon. And I figured he would just go with Roman, but yeah, you know what? He could. Like, Hikuleo can go with Solo's Bloodline 2.0, and then maybe Jacob just decided to switch sides to Roman, because he's like, the strength is in Roman's side, like, because again, like, it's so many people want, like, they want Cody to join Roman's Bloodline, they want Sammy back, and I understand, because Roman and Sammy had so much chemistry when they had that storyline a year ago. That's understandable, but I feel like this is like mostly family and family adjacent type stuff. You know, I know the Tongas are not Samoan, because they're Tongan, but just to have, like, you know, some people are saying Randy Orton and John Cena, like, no, don't. This is not time for your weird. This is a family thing, so I don't think having all of them in there would do anything. I want Jay to take some time before, and granted, there's time between now and, or probably like SummerSlam and Survivor Series, where they're most likely going to come head to head. And I don't want Jay, in the interim, going, sure, because it wouldn't make sense for him to, you know what, since you guys are good guys again, I'm putting Jimmy in this equation as well. You know what, you guys are good baby faces now. Yeah, sure, I'll join you. Like, no, he'd be like, no, I'm actually doing okay on Raw. Like, I've been the top title contention. I've, nearly won Money in the Bank. I'm an over guy right now. The crowd chants yeet. No, I'm doing pretty well for myself. You guys handle your stuff. This is your problem. And that something could happen. Bloodline 2.0 attacks Jay or attacks Jimmy or whatever, and that's what gets Jay into the fold. But again, I don't want it right off the bat. I know people want the Usos together, but they hurt Jay in so many ways. And Jay had to pay for his mistakes. Jay had to, kind of repent a little bit for his, if you want to use that type of term, repent for his sins when he was with the Bloodline. So, like, if I could do it, you could do it too. And they will come together. Just I don't want it just yet, because it just would not make sense at all. I do think he was a bit worried for Paul Heyman, but then again, he was like, nah, still not my problem. But Paul Heyman was basically losing sleep every week and just off, not on, or on TV. I'm sorry, I'm getting tired right now. I'm getting tired. So, okay. I think that's it pretty much for Raw. I can't really think of anything else really of notes. So, I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to go to sleep. But thank you guys for joining me, and I appreciate it. And I'm going to go. So, thank you guys. That's my whole